AITA for telling my brother, I guess you go to jail. 32. My brother Tim, 24, has trying to go to film school. In July I got a flag on my credit report. Someone tried to co-sign my name on a private student loan. I found out my brother somehow got the information from my mom thinking I wouldn't notice. Tim is on the spectrum. He doesn't have great judgment, but my wife was pissed because we are living with my in-laws on the other side of the country, saving up for a home once. If the interest rates drop, I have kept my credit flawless. So I did the things you're supposed to do, report it for fraud. I tell my mom and she doesn't say much. It slowly comes out that my brother couldn't get a loan and he found some paperwork about my parents' will that had my SSN on it laying around. He couldn't get the loan without a co-signer and put me down. It takes months for this to come out. So my wife and in-laws pressured me to file charges on Tim. I told my mom what Tim did was wrong and illegal. My mom started crying and handed the phone to Tim, and I explained to him about what he did and he needs a lawyer. Again, Tim is autistic and started panicking about what will happen to him after the headache of his actions and everything going on. I said, guess you go to jail. Since then Tim went into a bad state and his meltdown caused him to be on psychiatric hold. He's in bad shape and my family blames me because he keeps saying I'm going to jail. I don't know if he actually would for what he did, but because of what I told him he's regressed bad and has been in a panic for weeks and is not getting any better. My parents did get him a lawyer to try to calm him down, but he's back in the hospital again for another stay. The lending institution has a lot of explaining to do. Lucy, I was in lending and collections early in my career, but one rule we had then, and still exists, is that co-signers must be spoken with privately so they fully understand their responsibilities. And their identity must be verified. Obviously, your brother forged your signature and the lender did a piss-poor job of verification. Maybe your brother's autism mitigates his criminality somewhat. Maybe. But the lender is culpable and you might have cause for action against them. NTA. It also sounds like your mom knew what was going on and perhaps helped him. Did he first ask her to co-sign? Then she said, no. And then he just happened to find some paperwork at your mom's with your SSN? How exactly did he find that info? If they did help him commit fraud, his guilt, aka knowing this is wrong, needs to be weighed against a parent saying, meh, it's okay. He won't know, mind. NTA. Identity theft and fraud are serious crimes. Has he never been held accountable for his actions? Info. Did the loan go through with you listed as cosigner? Are you currently the cosigner of record for the student loan? Something just doesn't add up. If he really is as incapable as your mom portrays him, how would he have gotten the idea to use your info to make you a cosigner? I feel like there's info your mom isn't telling you, and probably never will. Sounds like they both, brother and mom, thought, we'll get the co-signed loan and since we'll pay it off, Op will never have to know a thing. I wonder why your mom didn't just co-sign for him instead of, likely, helping him pursue this course of action? Being on the spectrum isn't an excuse for criminal behavior. If he's sharp enough to go to film school, I gotta think he's also not so far on the extreme end of the spectrum that he can't understand the difference between right and wrong.
NTA.
NTA and don't back down. What he did is a crime and he deserves to be punished for it. People always say they are on the spectrum where they say I am autistic and I do not know any better. It doesn't work that way. This person was smart enough to figure out how to do this fake loan procedure. I knew it was wrong because they didn't go to anyone about it, they just did it. And if someone knows something is wrong and they do it anyway, Autistic or not, time to learn. NTA. From your comments, he knew what he was doing was wrong. And it sounds like your parents were complicit in this. You absolutely must follow through with the fraud, identity theft charges. Otherwise, your credit will be completely destroyed and you can kiss goodbye to buying a house, car or anything else requiring good credit. NTA. But, and this is a PSA for everyone: freeze your credit. It's free, quick, and easy to do. NTA. Your brother is a criminal. He attempted and potentially put you and your family at financial risk. Being on the spectrum does not equate to having no morals and immunity to legal ramifications. You must follow through to ensure this loan is not on your records and you are not party to the fraud. He has legal representation. He can have his meltdowns. But again, not your problem. Your parents sound a bit complicit. I would very strongly tell them to destroy anything with your personal information on it, and if you found they again tried to assist him utilizing your information, you would cut ties permanently. NTA. Being autistic doesn't make you think fraud is acceptable. You did the right thing. Far too many people let criminal abuse fly because it's done by someone with a tiny bit more DNA in common with them. NTA. If he had to sneak to find your SSN and do all this behind your back, he knew it was wrong. But people who have been infantilizing and enabling someone for decades are always going to come down on you for threatening the baby. I'm 44. My family is still fully committed to this, and said baby is 67. A few points that may help. 1. Technically there is no such thing as filing charges if you're a private person. Crime victims and witnesses can make reports to the police, but only the district attorney has the legal power to charge anyone with a crime. That they did so in response to your report indicates that what happened to you is serious. 2. For a first-time offense, he is unlikely to actually go to prison depending on the amount of money at issue, I suppose. But probation and fines is more likely. 3. I have lots of friends who are autistic people. None of them have ever committed wire fraud. I guess you go to jail is maybe a bit mean. But then again, he committed a crime against you that had the potential to cause you some real harm. For him or your family to then make the whole thing about his own mental health is really responsibility denying. NTA. Actually wait, he got all the info he needed from your parents' will? And did all the application on his own? Info. I have no idea what goes into resolving this with your credit. Did you need to press charges to have this removed from your history? Were the criminal charges a necessary byproduct of reporting the fraud? Or was the decision to press charges totally yours? Also, are you really sure he's going to jail? Basically, NTA for doing what you have to get this off your credit history. Your brother's diagnosis doesn't excuse his behavior. But the "I guess you're going to jail" part does feel like you are twisting the knife because you're mad. NTA. Tim put himself into this situation. Your brother is not an idiot. Based on what you've said, he knows right from wrong. He's clearly not stupid if he did it for a student loan. Has he taken advantage of mom using his autism as a defense in the past? I wouldn't put it past him to have been planning on using her as a shield if so, and assumed he would just be forgiven. NTA. Being autistic doesn't mean he doesn't understand right from wrong. Your mother enabled him to steal your identity and fraudulently used you to co-sign for loans they both know you never would have agreed to. Let him go to jail and face the consequences of his actions. NTA. Identity theft is not a joke, Jim.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.